the MiG-21. It's a name that echoes through aviation history, one of the most produced fighter jets ever, flown by dozens of countries, and a mainstay of air forces for over 60 years. But it's also a plane with a reputation for crashing. See, despite its successes, the MiG-21, especially in the hands of long-time operators like India, has seen a lot of accidents. And that begs the question, why? Why does this Cold War workhorse have such a troubled safety record? Well, in this video, we're going to break down the factors, the engineering, and the history to understand the crashes of the MiG-21. Our story begins, as with many engineering problems, with the passage of time. The first MiG-21S took to the skies in the late 1950s, making the design over 6 decades old. That's older than practically every car on the road today. Now imagine taking a car from the 1960s and pushing it to its limits day in, day out for years on end. You'd expect some wear and tear, right? Well, the same applies to aircraft, only the stakes are a lot higher. Metal fatigue, corrosion, the stresses of high-speed flight, these all take their toll. And while maintenance can mitigate some of these issues, there's only so much you can do to an airframe that's pushing its design limits. Now, age wouldn't be such a problem if we were talking about a classic car, lovingly restored and taken for the occasional weekend drive. But the MiG-21 isn't a museum piece. It's an active military aircraft, and that means keeping up with the times. The problem is, the MiG-21's core technology is, well, very 1960s. Its avionics, the electronic systems that help pilots navigate, target, and fly the plane, are basic compared to modern fighters. Imagine trying to navigate with a paper map while everyone else has GPS. That's the kind of disadvantage we're talking about. So we've got an aging airframe and outdated technology. But there's another factor at play here, the human element. The MiG-21 is a demanding aircraft to fly. It's not inherently unstable, but it requires a high level of skill and precision, especially during takeoff and landing. These characteristics, coupled with the fact that the MiG-21 is often used as a training aircraft for new fighter pilots, create a perfect storm for accidents. Imagine learning to drive in a high-performance sports car on a racetrack. The margin for error is slim. Let's talk logistics for a moment. Keeping any aircraft flying requires a steady supply of spare parts. But when you're dealing with a plane as old as the MiG-21, sourcing those parts becomes a whole different challenge. Original manufacturer support might be limited, forcing air forces to rely on refurbished parts, alternative suppliers, or even cannibalizing other aircraft. This can lead to inconsistencies in quality, compatibility issues, and increased maintenance complexity, all of which can contribute to accidents. The MiG-21 isn't just a museum piece or a training tool. In many countries, it's been the backbone of the Air Force for decades. And that means it's been flown hard, in a variety of conditions, from scorching deserts to humid jungles. This constant use takes its toll, accelerating wear and tear and increasing the likelihood of mechanical failures. It's like driving a car on a dirt road every day. Eventually, something's going to give. Remember when I said the MiG-21 was a product of its time? Well, in the 1960s, safety features weren't exactly top of the list when designing fighter jets. Early MiG-21s lacked things we take for granted today, like ground collision avoidance systems that prevent planes from accidentally flying into the ground, or advanced ejection seats with high success rates. While some upgrades have been made over the years, retrofitting older aircraft with modern safety features is a complex and expensive process. Finally, we need to talk about the MiG-21's design itself. Remember those demanding flight characteristics I mentioned? Well, those are partly due to the MiG-21's focus on high-speed performance. It was designed to be fast and maneuverable at high altitudes, which means it can be less forgiving at low speeds, like during takeoff and landing. Think of it like a thoroughbred racehorse, incredibly fast on the track, but maybe not the best choice for a leisurely trail ride. The MiG-21 is a symbol of a bygone era, a testament to Cold War engineering. But its prolonged use, often beyond its intended lifespan, has come at a cost. The combination of aging airframes, outdated technology, demanding flight characteristics, and a lack of modern safety features has contributed to its high accident rate. While upgrades and modernization efforts have been made, the reality is that the MiG-21 is reaching the end of its operational life. Many air forces, including India, are phasing it out in favor of newer, more capable aircraft like the Tejas and the Rafale. These modern fighters bring advanced technology, improved safety features, and a more sustainable operational life cycle. The MiG-21 has been a symbol of aerial dominance in its prime, but its prolonged use, coupled with outdated technology and demanding flight characteristics, has led to a high accident rate. Efforts to phase it out in favor of modern aircraft like the Tejas and Rafale are underway to enhance safety and operational efficiency.